and it will be far less than 5% of the snake's body weight. So we first get the snake in a tube, and then we swipe the area with alcohol. Then they give it some local anesthetic so the snake can't feel any pain. This will transmit a radio frequency that is individualistic for the snake at a distance of at least 200 meters in this bush.
Okay, so we've dialed in the frequency of this new snake, and we're now picking up a very strong signal over in this direction here. So I'd say the snake is probably within about 5 meters of us right now. Now by moving the antenna around, I can work out exactly where it is. We've got a weaker signal as I lift the antenna, and then we go to full signal. So it's definitely, I would say, it's moved from this group of rocks over here. And I'm...
Oh, he's there.
Uh-huh. Oh, I can see him.
I was turning these leaves over. There you go.
Oh, we got him.
There you go. Spot the death adder. Play that game.
Each snake's body temperature and movement is recorded daily. The composition of the snake's chosen environment is also recorded. For example, does it prefer to live under rocks or in leaf litter?
Body temp at 27.9 degrees Celsius.
3.3 meters.
Right.
Magnetic Island was chosen as the site of the research, as the island's population of death adders is very healthy.
So it does appear that Magnetic Island has a healthy population of death adders. The houses that are near the edge of the bush, they might encounter a snake up to 4 times a year, a death adder. So that is a pretty high rate, particularly compared with the mainland, where the snake catchers will get one in like 3 or 4 years, where they probably were decimated by cane toads, as well as land clearing and probably altered fire regimes. So death adders is one of the first snakes to leave an area once land is cleared. They need really good intact bush in order to survive and thrive.
Brian Mills is the manager of a Magnetic Island resort. He said locals come across the snakes quite often.
We usually see at least 1 or 2 a year, or the staff do, I should say, while raking up leaves around the property. One person even had one when they kicked away a rock outside a room one day. There was one hiding underneath it. So yeah, they are reasonably commonish as far as snakes go here around the resort. I think there's been a couple of incidents over the recent 18 months or so, I suppose, where there was a couple of dogs that were bitten over in West Point, but most people would really just pass them by without knowing they're there.
Death adder is a pretty creepy name for a snake. Is the name justified?
Maybe in the past. So before anti-venom was produced for death adders in 1958, there was a 50% death rate. So hence the name death adder. But nowadays, it is very rare for somebody to get bitten by a death adder. They're very inoffensive snakes that don't move. You really have to step on them or try to hurt them to get bitten. And it's more dogs, particularly on the island here, Magnetic Island, dogs that are taking the bigger hit because they go and search it out and the death adder defends itself.
You were asking for local residents to get involved in the study. How do they participate or how do they contribute?
Mainly by letting us know when they see a death adder. So it's very difficult for us to find them just walking through the bush. We have been somewhat successful in doing that, but it takes a lot of effort. Whereas I know people are seeing these snakes in their backyard, or a cat or a dog has bailed it up. So we really need people to let us know when they see a death adder, and then we can include it in our study.
The Death Adder Project will continue to monitor the movement of snakes on Magnetic Island until early next year. It's hoped their research will be used to inform snake management practices.
Well, it is still early days, and we certainly haven't analyzed all of our data, but what I can tell you so far is that a lot of the snakes don't seem to move that much, and anecdotally you hear these stories as well, or the snake is in the same place days later. But on occasion there are these bursts of movements, and it's still too early and too small of a sample size to see whether that burst of larger movements is correlated to a snake that's recently been translocated versus a snake that's currently in its home range.
Christina Zdenek from the Queensland University speaking to Natalie Fernbach on Magnetic Island in Queensland.
ABC Australia.